Everyone knows that Melbourne's trams are world famous. Trams are a major form of public transport in Melbourne, the capital city of the state of Victoria, Australia. As of May 2017, the Melbourne's tramway network consists of 250 kilometres or 160 miles of double track, 493 trams, 24 routes, and 1,763 tram stops. But I've always wondered what is their history under it. The first electric trams in Melbourne entered service in 1889 with a 2.25 mile or 3.6 kilometre line from Box Hill to Doncaster. This is phased out in 1896. Victorian Railways began a serious move to trams in 1906 when it opened electric tramway from St Kilda Station, which is now stop 132 on the now light rail Route 96 to Brighton. In the same year, a private company, North Melbourne Electric Tramway and Lightning Company, opened a line from Flemington Bridge to Essendon and Maribyrnong. The second of these to enter service are these W-Class trams. The W-Class trams entered service between 1923 and 1956, and they were built over those last 33 years, and 752 vehicles were built between 1923 and 1956, and spanning 12 subclasses. Now here's the big problem. In 1992, an official massive withdrawal of the W-Class was announced by the Transport Minister Alan Brown at the time. This meant most of the fleet were put into storage and withdrawn fully from service. That was generally due to the fact that over 200 W-Class remained in service, while the newer Z-Class trams were put in storage in various locations, after being displaced by the newer A and B class vehicles. Protests over the disappearing icons about the reconsideration of the withdrawal policy. It was decided that 53 Ws will remain for tourist purposes. The tourist purposes are still happening today in 2020. The popular zero fare City Circle tourists commenced in April 1994 using the 12 of 53 trams retained. Originally, there was a City Circle train that was about in 1980. So there was a City Circle train starting service in 1980. Went around the city loop constantly, but that was phased out in 1984, replaced by the very slow City Circle. When the network was privatised in August 1999, 30 of the W-Class trams were reallocated to M-Tram and 23 Tiara trams. My favourite tram, the Z-Class. These started service in 1975. Well, they have gone through a bit of refurbishments. Let's start with the last tram that entered service. 1983 was the last Z-Class into service, which were the Z3s. Let's say the refurbishments for the remaining 106 Z1 and Z2s. They were refurbished in between 1995 and 1999. They were refurbished by Coninen. The bodies were overhauled in the area of Preston workshops, while the bogies were sent to Coninen, Melbourne, New South Wales, Felicity, while others went to Coninen in New South Wales. On all bar 4, the flat type destination displays and route number were replaced by dot matrix displays in 2007. Well, M-Trams acquired some about 94 Z1s and 12 Z2s and 84 Z3s, while the Trams received 31 Z3s. So, this is the sad part. Not very sad, but in April 2016, the Z1 and 2s were given a farewell tour after about 45 years of amazing service.